Gervonta Davis looks unstoppable as he prepares to unleash absolute dominance in the ring. With every brutal punch in his training footage, he's sending a clear message to Lamont Roach that he is fully determined to take him apart on March 1st. Gervonta Tank Davis is stepping into the ring with full confidence, making it clear that he's aiming for nothing less than a dominant finish. He expressed that if he manages to position Lamont where he wants him, the fight will be over instantly.
He's gonna sleep for sure. Soften him up, then fry him.
His statement leaves no room for doubt. Tank believes his power and precision will be enough to put Lamont to sleep without question. On the other side, Lamont is not backing down either, as he remains equally confident in his own abilities. He acknowledged Tank's power, speed, and agility, but made it clear that people are underestimating him. According to Lamont, he possesses the same attributes and is not someone to be overlooked. He believes that while Tank is receiving all the attention, he has the skill set necessary to challenge him.
Tank has tremendous power. Tank has tremendous speed, agility, whatever the case may be. But little do everyone knows that I do too.
This fight has gained massive attention, not just because of the matchup itself, but due to the controversies surrounding it. Tank has been making bold and unexpected statements ahead of the fight, often shifting the focus away from Lamont. And he recently claimed that, skill for skill, no one in the sport can match him, even going as far as to say that he surpasses Floyd Mayweather if he's at his best. According to him, no active fighter on television possesses his level of skill. These statements have only intensified the spotlight on him, sparking debate about whether his confidence is justified.
Skill for skill, none of these guys can mess with me. Like, nobody. Like, I feel like my skills is way better than like Floyd. Like, if I'm on my game. Well, yeah, I take that back. Probably hand in hand. But skill wise, nobody on TV that's fighting right now have more skills than me. Nobody. Like, talking about top to bottom list of fighters that's fighting on TV.
Not everyone is impressed with Tank's career choices, especially Terrence Crawford, who has openly criticized his approach to selecting opponents. Crawford stated that Tank would never move up to 154 pounds unless he could carefully choose his opponent. He suggested that while Davis has moved up in weight before, he has always ensured that the matchups are in his favor. In Crawford's view, Tank avoids real challenges at higher weight classes, making it clear that he doubts Davis would take risks outside his comfort zone.
But Tank would never even think about hesitating to come up to 154.
All right, what about 47 though?
Yes, if he get to pick his opponent. If Tank get to pick his opponent, he would do it. But Tank would never come from 35 to 54.
Crawford's criticism doesn't stop there. He has also made it clear that his dislike for Tank goes beyond boxing. He expressed a strong personal disapproval of Davis, calling him arrogant and accusing him of using his status as a shield. According to Crawford, Tank relies on security and his public image to act in a certain way, but in a different setting, he wouldn't carry himself the same way.
I just really don't like that dude.
Why though?
Cause I just don't like him. Like, I really don't like him. I don't like
just not your cup of tea. That's just not your.
Yeah, I don't like nothing about him. You know, I don't like nothing about him. I just felt like, you know, he just one of these little arrogant little dudes that's, you know, using what he got to shield him. You know, like, he got a lot of security guards around him.
However, despite his personal feelings, Crawford still recognizes Tank's skills as a fighter. He acknowledged that Davis is a highly skilled and powerful boxer with tremendous ability inside the ring. According to Crawford, while he may not like Davis as a person, he has no choice but to respect what Tank brings to the sport. He admitted that Davis possesses elite level skills, making him a dangerous opponent for anyone who steps in the ring with him.
Fighter though?
Yeah, he's a damn good fighter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I respect him as a fighter.
Yeah.
You know, he definitely got skills, he got power, he got tremendous boxing ability. But, like, his core personality.
Eddie Hearn, on the other hand, is not convinced that Tank versus Lamont is a major fight. He dismissed the idea that this bout holds significant weight in the boxing world, stating that the only real blockbuster fight for Davis is against Shakur Stevenson. According to Hearn, while Tank's upcoming fight is decent, it's not the kind of matchup that would solidify his legacy. He believes that the biggest and most meaningful fight Tank could take right now is against Stevenson, and anything else falls short of true greatness.
Everyone's sensible. I mean, what other fights are there out for Tank? You know, he's fighting, you know, he's got a decent fight next, but he's a super featherweight that Tank will want to be in big fights. He'll want to make big money, and I think the biggest fight out there for him is Shakur Stevenson, and vice versa.
Meanwhile, Gervonta Davis has expressed openness to fighting Devin Haney, but with conditions. He believes Haney must first redeem himself by performing well in his rematch against Ryan Garcia. According to Davis, if Haney looks good in the fight, even without a win, it would still be an exciting matchup.
Yeah, I'd definitely for sure be open in a fight. Devin, for sure. But it's just like he gotta redeem himself, you know? If he look good his next fight and things like that, and if the fight don't go good, or even if he look good against Ryan too, and he don't get the win, like, I feel as though it would still be like a good fight to have. Just like,
he emphasized that their history since childhood with back and forth exchanges adds to the intrigue of the potential fight. Speaking to Bubba Dub, Davis made it clear that he is interested, but wants to see Haney prove himself first.
Even like the build up since he been younger and things like that coming in the game, and it was back and forth. So I think it still would be a good fight with me and Devin for sure.
In another interview, Davis addressed claims that he was ducking Haney and explained his stance on fighting in Saudi Arabia. He stated that his reluctance was not due to a lack of interest, but rather the way negotiations were handled. He revealed that Turki Alalshik, a key figure in Saudi boxing, positioned Haney as his favored fighter.
Are you just not interested in fighting over there?
It's not that, but they came at me wrong the first time they ever came at me, which they said I will fight Devin. And then when he was saying like Devin was his guy, so I'm like, if Devin your guy, y'all gotta pay me now, extra, like, cause I already know what I'm coming over there. You feel me? I gotta get the knockout. If not, y'all gonna give it to him. So that's what made me like, oh yeah, I see what's going on.
Davis argued that if Devin Haney is Alalshik's guy, then he would need extra compensation to ensure fairness. He expressed concerns about potential bias and insisted on securing a knockout to win, saying he would only consider the fight if he received greater financial incentives.
So now, give me 2 or 4 or 3 Ferraris. If not, ain't no point in me going over there for.
Alalshik had previously discussed Davis's demands and responded humorously. During an interview on the MMA Hour, he recalled Davis's request for 2 Ferraris to fight in Saudi Arabia. Alalshik dismissed this demand, stating that instead of Ferraris, Davis would receive 2 gloves if he wanted to compete there. This exchange highlighted the financial obstacles preventing Davis versus Haney from materializing. Despite the stalled negotiations for Davis versus Haney, Alalshik has recently expressed a strong desire to make a fight between Gervonta Davis and Shakur Stevenson happen. In an interview with ESPN, he acknowledged Davis's talent, but insisted that he must take on tougher opponents more frequently.
Fight great and big fights, because you know he's now in the mid of 30.
So you're giving an invitation to Gervonta Davis.
I don't take anything as a personal. I take it as I am professional.
Right.
I don't need to like you to talk with you.
But you appreciate Gervonta Davis's talent, it seems.
As a fighter, he's a great fighter, of course. No doubt about this. But we need to see him in big fights more and more.
Alalshik's endorsement of a Tank versus Shakur showdown has fueled further discussions, as fans and analysts believe it would be a high-stakes matchup. This public push for the fight has only increased pressure on Davis to take on elite competition. Shakur Stevenson has also shared his thoughts on a possible fight with Davis. He acknowledged that anything could happen and praised Alalshik's efforts in making major fights possible. Stevenson suggested that if the fight does not happen, it would be because Tank is avoiding the challenge.
Honestly, I think anything can happen. I think what Turkey is doing for boxing is amazing. He's making the best fight the best. He's making the biggest fights possible, the biggest fights available.
He accused Davis of frequently disrespecting him, stating that Tank often speaks negatively about him. Stevenson challenged Davis to step up, arguing that if he truly believes Stevenson has not accomplished enough, then he should prove it in the ring.
Goes out there and he disses me all the time and speak bad about my name. So it's like, if you feel the way that you feel about me, oh, I'm not this and I didn't do nothing for the sport of boxing as you like stated.
Stevenson continued his criticism, questioning why Davis chooses to fight opponents with lesser accomplishments while dismissing him. He pointed out that Davis claims Stevenson has done nothing for the sport of boxing, yet Tank himself has not taken on the toughest available challenges. According to Stevenson, this contradiction undermines Davis's credibility. He believes Davis should take on more legitimate threats rather than avoiding fighters who have achieved significant success in the sport.
Why go fight all of these guys that haven't done nothing for the sport of boxing, haven't accomplished the things that I accomplished?
Don't have your stature either.
And you go out there and then say, oh, he didn't do nothing. What have he done for the sport of boxing? But you're not fighting me, you'll fight somebody else.
Trainer Brian Bomac McIntyre also weighed in on the lightweight division, stating that the biggest fights depend on who Davis wants to fight. He acknowledged that Davis is widely regarded as the top fighter at 135 pounds. However, he argued that fighters like Keyshawn Davis and Shakur Stevenson are equally capable of being at the top. According to Bomac, while Davis is treated as the division's boogeyman, he must face the best fighters to solidify that status.
In reality, who Gervonta picked, who we want to fight. You know, because that's supposed to be the man at 135.
You said supposedly, so who do you think is the man then?
Of course, it's 50-50. It's Keyshawn and Shakur, but you have to. Everybody's putting that label on Gervonta as being the best 135 pound. Everybody needs to fight him like he's the boogeyman of the.
Bomac further emphasized that both Stevenson and Keyshawn have reached this level through hard work. He pointed out that Stevenson has moved up 3 weight divisions, while Keyshawn is still establishing himself after turning professional in 2021. He insisted that both fighters have the necessary talent and hunger to challenge Davis. While he acknowledged Davis's abilities, he firmly believes Stevenson and Keyshawn are just as dangerous due to their skills and determination.
He needs to fight him like he's the boogeyman of the division. Shakur moved up 3 weight divisions. Keyshawn just getting here, so he got to, the world going to say, well, he got to prove himself. He got to prove himself. And me personally, by knowing these cats, it's a 50-50 right there. Because I know those guys are dogs. They got dog in them. I'm not saying Gervonta don't have dog in him, but just those 2 guys because of the simple fact that I know what they're capable of.
Bob Arum also weighed in on a potential fight between Tank and Keyshawn, stating that it would be an incredible matchup. However, he questioned whether Tank would even agree to fight Keyshawn. According to Arum, many fighters hesitate to face Keyshawn because of his talent. He went as far as saying that he favors Keyshawn over anyone in the lightweight division.
Tank Davis is concerned, that would be a great fight, but I don't know if Tank Davis is up to fighting a Keyshawn Davis. Remember, Keyshawn is very, very talented, and a lot of guys are really hesitant to fight him. I favor Keyshawn over anybody in the lightweight division right now.
Keyshawn himself has been vocal about wanting to fight Tank, making it clear that he doesn't believe Davis would accept. Speaking with Fight Hub TV, he suggested that Tank lacks the courage to face him. He claimed that their personalities naturally clash, making their fight even more intriguing. However, he also expressed doubt that Davis would ever send him a contract. His words imply that Tank actively avoids real threats in his division.
You know who it is. I just think he don't got the balls to fight me. I really just feel like he don't have the balls to fight me. Our characters match up at the end of the day. Like, he know I'm not going for none of that shit in the ring and outside the ring. People know me by now. Just like people know him. It's just more people that know him. So I don't think he really got the balls to send me a contract and fight me.
Meanwhile, Shakur Stevenson sees his fight against Tank as the biggest fight in the sport. He believes that a matchup between them would capture the attention of fans worldwide. According to him, this would be a fight that could take place anywhere and still be a massive event.
I think that fight will capture the imagination of the world. I think that's the biggest fight in the world. See, like
you would be fine fighting him in the U.S. or
yeah, anywhere,
Riyadh or
anywhere. At the end of the day,
London.
Tank's name continues to circulate in discussions involving both Shakur Stevenson and Keyshawn Davis. These all three fighters are considered among the best in the lightweight division, and the potential matchups have caught the attention of boxing fans. Claressa Shields recently ranked Stevenson as her top pick in the division, placing Davis right behind him, followed by Keyshawn.
Oh, look, well, everybody knows Shakur is my number one. I get Tank next. Keyshawn.
Despite the swirling discussions, there has been no official confirmation from Tank regarding whom he will fight after Lamont. His immediate focus remains on March 1st, where he aims to put on a statement performance. Recent training footage showcases his explosive power, sending waves of excitement among fans who eagerly anticipate his return to the ring. In a recent interview, Davis shared his mindset heading into the fight. He explained that his main focus is staying sharp and visualizing what he needs to do inside the ring. He emphasized that he is constantly thinking about his strategy and making sure he executes everything perfectly on fight night. His approach shows that he is fully locked in, ensuring that no detail is overlooked ahead of this crucial matchup.
Right now, just like making sure I stay sharp, like thinking about the fight, like what I'm gonna do inside the fight and shit like that. But yeah, just like making sure I stay sharp and things like that, like picturing what I'm gonna do in the fight and stuff.
Oscar De La Hoya has weighed in on the matchup, acknowledging Tank's relentless preparation. According to him, Davis's commitment to training makes him a dangerous opponent, as he always enters the ring in peak condition. While De La Hoya respects Roach's abilities, he believes Roach will have a tough challenge ahead, especially given Davis's superior skill set. According to De La Hoya, Davis's skill set and physical conditioning set him apart, giving him a significant advantage over Lamont Roach.
No, I think Lamont Roach is a terrific fighter. He's first and foremost, he's a very nice human being. I really like him as a fighter, as a person. He might be a little over his head with Gervonta Davis. Gervonta Davis is, to say the least, he's a beast. He really is. He's a tremendous fighter. He's a dedicated fighter when it comes to training and fighting and making sure that he's in optimal conditions when he steps inside that squared circle.
While he respects Roach's talent and determination, he acknowledges the massive challenge ahead for him. Facing someone with Davis's speed, power, and precision requires exceptional preparation, something few opponents have been able to handle. De La Hoya remains realistic, stating that Roach will have to deliver a near-perfect performance to stand a chance.
He's that sneaky, so yeah, it's going to be very interesting, but obviously Gervonta Davis has the experience, he has the knowledge, he has that mean streak in him that will take you out with any punch. So it's going to be a long night, but I think Lamont will. What he must do in there is just go out there and have fun.
Paulie Malignaggi, however, has not been impressed with Davis's opponent selection. He criticized Tank for consistently fighting weaker competition, arguing that his talent is undeniable, but his matchups lack true competitiveness. Malignaggi expressed frustration over watching Davis face fighters who are simply not on his level, making his victories predictable rather than proving himself against elite opposition.
Like Gervonta's a very good fighter. I criticize the matchups not because I don't like Gervonta Davis, because I feel like he's so good that I want to see him against somebody like him. Why should I have to watch? Why, if I know that a python is a dangerous animal, and I got to see a python take on an alligator, I'll say, okay, but why do I got to watch a python take on a turkey or a rooster or a chicken? Why do I got to watch that?
Bernard Hopkins also predicted Davis, stating that Tank is a problem for anyone he faces. He pointed out that the pressure is on Roach to prove himself, particularly as he moves up in weight for this fight. Hopkins noted that the WBA made a special exemption for the bout, but despite Roach's confidence, he will need to be in the best shape of his career to compete with Davis.
Tank Davis is not the guy to beat in boxing as a superstar. As they say, the face of boxing, and then they said others might be the face of boxing. But Tank Davis, to me, it's going to get anybody problems. It's the burden is on Roach or anybody else. In this case, it's Roach. The burden is on him based on Tank's achievements and what he have done. And this is Roach really I know about the amateurs, but this is really his biggest moment in boxing as far as on a pro level. On a pro level. He will come in as the underdog based on popularity and based on the record that Tank has, and justifiably so. But anything can happen in this world of boxing.
While the majority of fans and analysts predict a dominant win for Davis, Lamont Roach remains unfazed by the doubters. "I don't care about what people have to say," Roach said in a self-recorded video. "I don't care about who's doubting me. If I cared, I wouldn't be here." His words reflect unwavering confidence, proving that he is not stepping into the ring as an underdog who accepts defeat. Tank's rivalry with Keyshawn Davis and Shakur Stevenson continues to build intrigue. The lightweight division is stacked with talent, and fans eagerly anticipate which matchups will materialize next. Despite the outside noise, Tank appears solely locked in on his immediate task, defeating Lamont Roach. His confidence, skill, and power have made him the favorite, but Roach's determination presents a challenge that cannot be ignored. The world will be watching closely as Gervonta Davis steps into the ring. Whether it's another dominant performance or an unexpected upset, this fight is set to shake up the lightweight division. With so much at stake, all eyes are on Tank to see if he can live up to his own expectations and continue his reign at the top. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Do you think Lamont Roach has any chance of pulling off an upset, or is this fight going exactly as expected? And what about Tank's next opponent? Should he face Shakur Stevenson or Keyshawn Davis? Let us know your thoughts in the comments.